भारतं महाभारतं धर्म अधर्म संघर्षणम्।
News reached Hastinavati that the Pandavas were alive and had married Draupadi. The citizens of Hastinavati, who were unhappy, thinking that the Pandavas had perished in the flames, were full of rejoicing. But Dhritarashtra was troubled, but he did not betray it. He pretended to be very happy. He told the ministers, "Decorate Hastinavati and welcome the Pandavas with befitting grandeur." He sent Vidura to Panchala Desha, and he brought Kunti and her sons to Hastinavati. The citizens gave them an unprecedented welcome. Duryodhana had been supremely happy, thinking that the Pandavas were dead. When the Pandavas returned alive, he felt as if the very skies had fallen on him. The thought that the harder he tried to destroy them, the stronger they grew, tortured him. Now, formidable Drupada was their father-in-law. The enchanting beauty Draupadi was their wife. Arjuna had learnt new arts like the Chakshushi. Bhima had killed Hidimba and Bakasura. What achievements! As he recalled them one after another, he was greatly vexed. He summoned Karna and Dushasana and unburdened his sorrow. The three together began to consider how to do away with the Pandavas. About this time, Bhishma, Drona and Vidura met Dhritarashtra. They knew that the relations between the Pandavas and the Kauravas had touched the bottom. They felt that it was not safe for the Pandavas to remain in Hastinavati. They told Dhritarashtra, "Maharaja, you know that your sons and Duryodhana in particular and the Pandavas cannot get on together. Your son has been harassing them all along. What turn things will take if the Kauravas and the Pandavas stay in one place, nobody can say. Therefore, give the Pandavas half your kingdom now. Let them rule over their kingdom and live by themselves." Dhritarashtra detested their suggestion, but he could not refuse them and so consented. He sent for Yudhishthira and said, "Panduputra, elders have suggested that the kingdom be divided into two, and I am obeying them. One half is Kandavaprastha, the other is Hastinavati. Go to Kandavaprastha and rule there. We shall live in Hastinavati. Hereafter, let there be no bad blood between you and the Kauravas." Yudhishthira said with deference, "Very well, uncle." The Pandavas then went to Kandavaprastha. They constructed a huge city for their capital. The city, which resembled Indra's Amaravati, came to be known as Indraprastha. Yudhishthira ruled righteously. In course of time, the Pandavas had 5 sons by Draupadi. Yudhishthira's son was named Prativindhya, with the hope that he would erase the arrows of enemies like the Vindhya mountains. Bhima's son was born after he performed the Soma sacrifice, and so he was given the name Somasuta. The son of Arjuna was given the name Shrutakarma. Nakula's son was Shatanika, and Sahadeva's son was Shrutasena. Once, Arjuna went on a pilgrimage. First, he travelled northward and reached Haridwara. Ulupi, the daughter of the king of the Nagas, who saw him on the banks of the Ganga, fell in love with him. He married her at the request of her elders and lived with her for some time. Then Arjuna travelled towards the east. Ulupi, however, remained in the land of the Nagas. Arjuna came to Manipura. Chitrangada was the princess of Manipura. She was attracted to Arjuna. Arjuna too was attracted to her because of her exceptional valor. There was a splendid wedding. Their son was the celebrated Babruahana. Arjuna continued his pilgrimage. Following the custom of her land, Chitrangada remained in Manipura with her son. Arjuna then travelled westward and reached Dwaraka. the city of his beloved friend Krishna. The people of Dwaraka welcomed Arjuna joyously. Krishna was particularly delighted with the arrival of his cousin. The two spent some days happily together. Subhadra was the younger sister of Krishna and Balarama. She was an enchanting beauty. Balarama wished to give her in marriage to some great prince. He had in view the son of Duryodhana. On all other subjects, Balarama and Krishna were in wholehearted agreement, but they could not see eye to eye with regard to the Pandavas. Balarama blamed Krishna for being always partial to the Pandavas. He leaned towards the Kauravas. Both Bhima and Duryodhana had learnt the art of mace fighting from him. Both were superb masters of the art, but Balarama was biased towards Duryodhana. Occasionally, Krishna would tell Balarama, "Brother, it is not individuals that we have to support. It does not matter whether they are the Pandavas or the Kauravas. We have to support Dharma. Both the Pandavas and the Kauravas are our kinsmen, but the Kauravas are unrighteous. The Pandavas have never deviated from the path of righteousness. So, it is right that we should be with the Pandavas." But Balarama did not relish this line of argument. It is not surprising, therefore, that Balarama should have wished that Subhadra should marry Duryodhana's son, but Krishna did not approve of this. He felt that the choice should be left to their dear sister. When Arjuna was in Dwaraka, there was a great celebration near Mount Raivataka. Arjuna too visited the place. He first saw Subhadra there. He fell in love with that bewitching beauty. Subhadra too fell in love with him. Krishna learnt this. He was very glad that his sister had been attracted to his friend, but it seemed to him that Balarama would not consent to this match. He said, "Arjuna, go away with Subhadra straight away to Indraprastha. That will certainly enrage Balarama, but I shall manage to pacify him." Both Arjuna and Subhadra agreed and left for Indraprastha unknown to anyone. Balarama thought that Arjuna had abducted Subhadra and was furious. He prepared to pursue Arjuna with a big army. Then Krishna said, "Brother, what is this that you are doing? Arjuna has not carried away Subhadra by force. She has willingly married him and accompanied him. As a princess, she has the right to choose her husband. In accordance with the Swayamvara practice, Arjuna has done nothing to offend us. On the other hand, you did not ascertain the inclination of Subhadra, but decided that she should marry Duryodhana's son. You were hasty." Balarama had no answer. He consoled himself. He invited Subhadra and Arjuna to Dwaraka and celebrated their marriage. In course of time, Subhadra bore a son who was named Abhimanyu. He was to bestow luster on the Pandava dynasty.